And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Stuck me with him. And any of the other guys I worked with, it was
Do you consider
Jay
that,
Strongbow. I could have fantastic matches with him.
Do you consider the Tito feud your greatest feud ever?
It was the longest one. I would put it. Yeah, I would have to say yes.
About 2 years, that program?
It lasted actually for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So he was such a beautiful guy.
He tells a story, though, that you purposely destroyed the belt so he couldn't have it, and it was a shoot. Is that accurate? And by the way, the belt's here. We found it in Tito's garbage. But
Yeah.
Oh, he might.
We took it out.
That looks like it.
Yeah, we repaired it, too.
They might have told him that, but they came up to me and told me to destroy the belt after I lose the match, and so I destroyed it. And they said they're gonna get him a new title, right? And it was a good thing for me because I lost the belt, so now I'm like a baby throwing a temper tantrum and beat the hell out of it, and then I leave, and then Tito sold it beautifully. He came in and he grabbed it, and he looked at it, and he held it like it was a little baby, and like he's crying, and he's, it was beautiful.
It was.
Now,
We had some good direction.
Did you ask him for the belt afterwards to take it home? Like, who ended up with that destroyed belt?
He put it in his bag and left with it, and I think they knew he was going to get a new belt, but that belt, that'd be so great to have.
Man, those old school belts were like...
I should have kept it.
Oh, my God.
Any thoughts on Ric Flair's recent last match?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, and it kept popping up. I get YouTube everywhere in my house. It pops up on my cable, my big screen, and I never did really. I started to watch it. I saw Jeff Jarrett look pretty good. Rick had his shirt on. I go, I ain't gonna watch it. He's got his shirt on. And I hate that. If you're so old you can't wrestle, you got to wear a shirt. And I heard he got tired. I just didn't want to watch it. Now, you want to have a good match, put me against Flair. And I challenge him right now. Don't wear the T-shirt. I won't wear one. Let's go out there and fucking nail each other.
That would be.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I challenge him right now.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you a greater... Well, we were talking about last night's show, the greatest of all time. It was Hulk Hogan's birthday yesterday. And
Was it really?
yes.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself better than Ric Flair as one of the all-time greats?
I'm better than Hogan and Flair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us why. Why do you feel that way?
Well, Ric Flair's matches were all the same. And I used to put thoughts into my matches and try to mix it up, And sometimes we get repeat. There's only so many different things you can do. But, how many times you're going to watch him go hit the rope and turn around, go over the top, run down, come on, drop the elbow. How many times you can see it? That's every friggin' match he has. I like Rick, but I'm shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
I'm saying his matches are all alike. Mine, I couldn't take the bumps like Rick, but I don't think bumps are that realistic. Anyway, I tried to make my matches different. As far as Hogan, he just had the ultimate push. Nice guy, had great interviews, big friggin' arms. He was just right for that time in the era. But as far as work and realistic and drawing money, I sold Madison Square Garden out 17 times, and I know that for a fact. and I think it's because of my believability. And Hogan had the major push, and he had his own deal, made lots of money, and so I think I'm better than both
Well, let me
of them.
ask you about that. He got the major push, but could anyone, in your opinion, could anyone else have carried the WWE to? Because Hogan's the spark that created the WWE today.
The WrestleMania.
Obviously, right? The opponents, things like that. Could anyone else have done that besides Hogan? Could McMahon have used somebody else?
Well, I could have been the world champion, but I wouldn't want to, because I'm a heel, the bad guy. I wouldn't want to keep it. So he was perfect for that. But the reason I say I was better than him is I was just a better worker.
Yeah.
But me and Tito used to go out. I mean, they had 3 towns a night running in the 80s, in the 90s. And me and Tito could go main event in Detroit and go to Boston that same day and sell them out sell both Boston and Detroit out with just the Intercontinental belt. We didn't need Hogan on the card. We didn't need anybody on the card. We could do it ourselves. I mean, you got to have an undercard, but Hogan, that was a big feather in our cap for drawing, and I can't draw nothing by myself. I have to have a good opponent like Tito. He was fabulous.
So what you're trying to say is the other wrestlers probably happy being on the B card with you guys because the draw was the same as a Hogan card.
So I was a B card, but we still sold out, and we made money. And let's send Greg and Tito over there. Don't worry about it. We'll have Hogan go over here. And then I think there was even three cards on the weekends, and they probably still, wrestling was just hot back then, but we could, the Intercontinental Champion I myself could sell out without Hogan on the card.
Key word being worker. You've mentioned it a couple of times. Who to Greg Valentine is the greatest worker in the history of pro wrestling?
What's that?
Who's the greatest worker in the history of pro wrestling to you?
Besides myself?
There you go. Well, we got the obvious. I mean, who's second to you?
No, there's guys with different styles, and I guess like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Interesting.
He did a phenomenal job in getting over, and The Rock. Rock had a lot of charisma, plus he knew how to work. I mean, there's a lot of other guys that could work good. That's just off the top of my head.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on guys?
I don't watch the current product.
Okay.
I can't really. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but I'm just past that. I watch WrestleMania, and that's about it.